Welcome back, friends, to the shop. Today we're going to be wiring up an electrical 240 plug for a welder, a big one, 50 amp. I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself. Now, we still have the right in this country to work on our own electrical, provided we pull a permit and the homeowner does it himself. I had a friend who had a electrician come out to hook up a welding circuit for him, $1,500. I bought everything that you need for $60. So I'll show you step by step how to do it. It's not difficult. You can safely do it and no problem whatsoever. So also, fun fact, we're filming on the new camera. This is the first YouTube video I've done on the new Canon R5. So what we can expect from that is hopefully better autofocus and a sharper image. So let me know what you think. I was in the loving arms of engineers wading through technical manuals all night last night trying to get up to speed on this because my previous camera was acting up and dropping frames and such, the EOS R. So we'll get it sorted out. All right, let's take a look at the material and then we'll jump in and get the job done. Now, of course, this video is for entertainment purposes only, but let's say that you were going to entertain yourself. You know, what you want is a 50 amp 240 plug. So you're going to start with your circuit breaker, double pole 50 amp, right? Now, I used to get all fancy in my old shops and try to meet all the industrial standards with these really cool locking 3 and 4 pin twist locks. You know what? Get away from all that. There's so many combinations of these. There's 30-15, there's 30-20, there's 30-50, there's 240-15. And it was a nightmare. Just go with your old school standard plug pattern right there. That's going to come with most of your small welders. If you're just a professional homeowner like myself, that's going to do you just fine. And just get the cheap one right there that you can surface mount on the wall. Now, you can run these things in conduit and get all fancy and all that, but really, all you need is a chunk of MC cable and some number 6 wire. Now, check your codes, of course, and I don't know every possible situation, but for most, as a rule of thumb, a number 6 stranded wire is suitable for a 50 amp circuit, even though your smaller welders are going to only require 30 amps. You know, even someone like the little Miller 211 that I have, you can run that on 120 or 240. So what I'd probably recommend is run this close to the panel as you can, because this wire is pretty expensive and you don't want to go too far. If you do need to stretch out and get your welder so it goes outside, you don't want to weld inside the house, that's cool, I can dig that. Build yourself up a cord, a 20-footer. So this is a 10-3 wire. It's got the same welding plug on there, and if you just have a light-duty welder, I think for most guys that's going to be fine. I'll tell you what, guys, I'll be glad to get rid of these twist locks. Man, I have wasted, I can't eat the countless hours and aggravation and frustration with these things, not getting the right one. Well, primarily it was lack of knowledge, of course, when I thought a twist lock was a twist lock, and so I started buying them, and I didn't understand, like, why don't these things work? And then I had some with 50, enough. I dropped a little extra coin on USA made 10-3 soft wire, because it's the quality of it is so much better than that Chinese wire is really awful. The common theme of everything I'm doing in the new shop is this is the last time I'm going to do this. All of the lessons I've learned, all the mistakes made, hopefully not to be repeated, and having those twist plugs is one of those lessons. We are set. All right, let's go. Let's make up our whip here, and then we'll head over to the panel. This is a 50 amp 240 standard plug that you can mount directly to anything. You could even use this on the end of your extension cord if you didn't want to make up one of these heavy boxes here. I think it was 18 bucks or so. For the receptacle, the side that's going to come out the panel and mount on the wall, this is basically the same thing. Using the 3 wires, red is hot, black is hot, white will be the neutral. That's what it seems to be what I've seen the most of. I've changed my mind, guys, which is typically the case with me. I'm no longer going to put this on a 10-foot whip. I'm going to just mount it right here, close by. So all we need to do is to go from a short run from here up into here. That extra wire we can save for future projects. So let's pull this off, and I think it's a good time we'll get our 50 amp double pole breaker installed. Now we'll just kill power to the panel. Got our double pole 50 amp. Snap that into place. Red, black, white to the ground bus. My lack of experience is showing through here. All right, another change of plans. So that MC cable won't make that tight of a bend. So I'm overthinking everything here. So since this is temporary, we'll just make ourselves a nice little long swoop. So around like this to go around. That way we're not putting a strain on anything. I really do think that I'll be putting this in hard conduit in the future, running it over actually to the other side of the shop. So we just need to get ourselves going right now. They make special cutters for this armored cable. They looks like this. It's got a little blade that reaches in. They're really slick. If you're doing a whole bunch of this, you might want to invest in one of these, like for a whole shop. But that only does little stuff. I don't have one to cut this big 3/4. I don't think I've ever worked with it before. So you can just cut it with a hacksaw. Now we can run our wires again. You see, I'm making the mistake so you guys don't have to. By the time you're ready to wire up a welding plug, you'll have it all well in hand. Think of the time I'm saving you. So you're not wasting time on YouTube at all. You're just eliminating obstacles or difficulties. That's my job. There we go. Now we're cooking, guys. Now I got a little extra there. We've knocked out our slug there on the side for at 3/4 inch. We can feed our wires in. Be careful when feeding in here. Those edges can be sharp and you can really peel off that insulation. And there we go. Just like it's made to go. Put our nut on there. And now this nut will keep that from backing out. All right, looking good. Now we're hooking up to the breaker with the red and the black wire. And what you want to do is you want to cut these to length. It's kind of good style is if you can kind of basically keep your wires kind of tucked up on the side right there and make a hard 90 and come directly in. See how these are brought in like that? It's just good style and clean. And so what I'll do before I cut anything to length is I'll just kind of come up here and form this wire to do what I want to do. Then I'll just kind of mark it with my fingers and then cut it to length. Always give yourself a little extra. You can usually tuck it away, no problem. This is a perfect example why these flat-nosed electrical style pliers, which are not good for anything in the whole world except for this, are so handy. They're relatively smooth. They don't chew up the wire very bad. They seem to be really good for giving you some extra strength when you need to manipulate these big, massive wires around. Okay, let's put our cover on. We'll test our plug. Actually, guys, it's going to work out pretty good to have this hooked up on this flexible MC whip like this, because when we end up bringing that select deck across here, we'll be able to pull this off and then flush mount this, come in the backside, not have that cable showing. It'll be nice and clean. I think when everything's said and done, once we get over to the other side, we'll probably run another dedicated 50 amper over there, just so we have the we don't have to run cords across the floor all the time. I think we're ready to test it. The only thing left is I've got to attach these here with a clamp. I don't have one of those. I'll have to pick one of those at the hardware store when I go in later. But we should set a breaker on 50 amps. Should right there, 240. We are good. We're ready for welding. All right. Well, nice to get that done. I hope that's helpful. Now that I've got that hooked up, tomorrow we can start fabricating the stand for the Wilton vise. I've got everything in place, drill all the holes and get that built up. So that's probably what we'll do tomorrow. I was thinking we were going to do that today, but then I realized I didn't have any way to plug in my welder. So it's kind of that catch-22 going around here with all the, need to do stuff, but I don't have everything in storage, or I don't have the things up. I don't even have the air compressor ran up yet. So it's coming. It just takes time, all these things. So please do keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Well,